Joining us now, the Bulwark congressional reporter, Joe Perticone. Joe, how much of this is a pro forma response from a lawmaker to a constituent? Joe, my friend, I think you were on mute. Oh, there. Start over. You're not on mute. We got your audio.
Sorry. You can call your member of Congress for anything, and you can complain to them and be concerned about anything, and they'll usually give you a good response. In this case, we got our hands on about a dozen letters. No telling of how many more there are out there. Those are just the ones we got and verified that showed that these members are saying one thing in public and saying another thing in private. They love to do that behind closed doors, but with their constituents, this really shows that they're empathizing with their case, or they're maybe very concerned about the political ramifications of, not being too tough on this billionaire who's unelected, unconfirmed by the Senate, who's been meddling in every government department. But with this Social Security thing, there's a financial uncertainty there, and that's what gets people more concerned, like these members that have to reassure their constituents.
What are they doing within Congress to make sure that Elon Musk's reach isn't infinite?
Not much. For the past several weeks since Trump took office, and certainly since Doge has really picked up steam, I've spent many days asking Republicans in the House and Senate, is this acceptable? Isn't it your job to control taxpayer money? And there's been nothing but a lot of shrugs there. There's been some concern. It's been rhetoric. But as we've seen with these letters, sometimes they say one thing publicly and then they say another thing to their constituents.
Is there a point at which it is your understanding that Republicans might stand up and say this is going too far? I mean, Elon Musk is in the Oval Office right now. He's going to be talking about numbers he's allegedly found in the federal government. It's unclear what exactly he'll be describing. But so far, there have been a lot of individuals within the federal government who have been put on leave or asked to take a buyout. There's been a whole lot of reporting about his access to financially sensitive information and personal information. Do you have a sense that there is a red line for Republicans where they might just come out and decide to speak out against Elon Musk and maybe ask President Trump to hold him back?
I'm not so sure. Every time we've seen a red line get crossed, it gets pushed further and further away. Those who have seen red lines and crossed them and said, how dare you, have been ostracized from the party. So I don't see much action from this. Where it does become tricky is if it becomes a political issue. And financial uncertainty is the number one thing. A lot of the baby boomers in the peak years of the late 50s, they're going to be filing for Social Security for the first time this year or next year. And if somebody's rifling around with the Social Security system, that could cause a lot of uncertainty for the people that rely on that money. And that's where it could come back to bite Republicans.
So, again, Musk is in the Oval Office right now, and Musk is saying that his goal here is to restore democracy. That's what he says. And they said that they're looking into federal employees who had a high net worth despite their low pay. So that means that they're getting into the individual finances of individual government employees and implying that there's corruption there. I mean, we started this whole show off by talking about the ways that the government's weakening the controls around corruption for political folks, and then also for individual companies, and also for, say the mayor of New York here, who Donald Trump wants to help him with immigration policy. I wish I could ask you a question here, but I'm fresh out of time. Joe Perticone, that's what's happening in the White House right now. We're going to keep on watching it. Joe Perticone, thanks for bringing that report from the Bulwark for us. We appreciate it.